Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Pick Up the Truth. Now, I know things have been getting crazy out there. I took another trip to the convenience store out in public today, and just to get a gander of what was going on. Because I notice it progresses every day. I've been making a habit of going to the store every day and just observing the behavior of my brothers and sisters out there, and how this virus is affecting them and how it changes who they are. Every time I go to the convenience store, I see new signs of new rules that they have for us to go by. And the thing is, I try not to ever comply with the signs that they have for us to change our behavior. But you see people do. They'll tell you to use a napkin on your touch buttons for anything you want to get, because they make you afraid of your other brothers and sisters that you don't know. They might have some kind of strange bacteria on their finger. They make you fear creation. They make you fear the creation of what your brother and sister is. Yeah. They're trying to spread that fear and to be scared of the creation we are. And they're doing a good job, because today I walked into the store and I'm the same person I was and the same person I'll always be, because I am not ruled by any system. I am not ruled by anything that tries to control my thoughts, emotions, or actions. I'm my own soul and body and creation, and when I walk into the store, I'm not afraid of my other brothers and sisters, even through this brainwashing that they try to implement on everybody with their fear-mongering, with the tactics they give you to be brainwashed by. So, yeah, I refuse to participate, and I'm not scared to share it with people. I'm not afraid to get next to my brother and sister, and I will not be complying with the 6 feet or even 3 feet order, because I'm not afraid of any natural bacteria in creation happen to jump over from them to me. If it's going to happen, then it was meant to be. I love my brothers and sisters out there, and I'm not afraid of them, even in this crisis. And it's interesting to see when you're amongst the people out there that how they easily comply with the orders that they're programmed to follow. I mean, you see people all the time getting their napkins, or even now wearing gloves, so they can reduce their touch point. And now they look at you funny if you don't, because they feel that they've been programmed to label you like you're against humanity and you're trying to make them sick. But these are the ways that they program the people that they control against people who know truth. It truly will be a war of who wants to be free in mind and soul and body, and who wants to be programmed in the system they control their very behavior, thoughts, and emotions in. And this is why, knowing truth helps us to be free from the mind control we see going on with the rest of our brothers and sisters in creation. It gives us the ability to stay away from it, and so we can possibly help others see the deception going on around them. No matter how much they ridicule us for the way we stay ourselves and the way we control our thoughts and emotions, don't give in and be programmed by what everybody else is programmed to follow. This is a war against who we are. This is a war against creation. And we have to do what we can to spread the truth. Now, when I was in the checkout line in the store, I noticed the clerks were trying to make sure that everybody stayed 6 feet apart, and they were only allowing so many people in the store at a time. So imagine what we know already about, the jobs that we're enslaved into these corporations to do in the time they created to enslave us. And we already know this already, but we see these two on the clock for the corporation, feeling that they have the authority to just blindly control real people on this earth. You see what I'm saying? Just because the corporation told them to. They're manipulating the corporations, the Masonic corporations are manipulating their very thoughts and actions to control other people, because they have the ability to do that because they control them in that position in time that they created. So you can see how truth can allow you to see the entire picture of what's going on and how it affects our real brothers and sisters out there. But this is how we can see truth. We see things for what they really are and how it's really happening. And we have to process those thoughts and talk about them and try not to be manipulated by the people who run this system. I mean, we have to think about how powerful these people are that control us, because they were able to manipulate the two clerks that are just people themselves, you know. In reality, if they were out in public, they would never feel that they would have the authority over another human being to tell them what to do. But at their enslaved position in time, the corporation has the authority to brainwash them to impose their will on the rest of the people. And they use them to do it, and they use us to do it. And if you're awake to it, you can see it. And if you're not awake to it, you can learn it from other brothers and sisters who are. There's nothing wrong with that either. That's why we take our time to talk about our real experiences in the world and see if we can learn from them. It helps us to see truth and to keep us who we are in creation. Give us the ability to stay focused on our own thoughts and emotions and actions, so we can make good decisions on what to do. Give us the ability to make good decisions on what other psyops they have coming our way, how to handle them. They're not finished with us, folks. You can see how they control everything, and you can see how fast the people that they have under control will do their bidding against us, against people who know the truth, because trust me, they will ridicule us. They'll look at us like we don't care about society because they've been programmed to think that way. They'll look at us and think, well, you're an inconsiderate son of a bitch and you don't care if you spread your germs everywhere, because they've been taught to think that way. But they don't know the truth that there's good bacteria in creation we need to keep us from getting disease. You can't hide yourself away from the good bacteria in creation. You can't continue washing your hands. Leave them germs on your skin. Skin is a living organism, and it needs the good bacteria to protect itself and protect you from disease and viruses. I suggest not cleaning and letting the good bacteria build. Sounds crazy, but hey, I love creation and I love truth. I love spreading truthful knowledge that helps people. I'm sure you know that about me already. I love you guys. I do. That's why I share my experiences with you and try to make sense of everything that happens truthfully. But just a little just to let you know what happened at the end of my experience at the convenience store there. when I was checking out, I told the clerks, I said, don't let your thoughts be controlled by the government. Because I knew I had to reference it back to the government. I should have said the Masons, but they wouldn't understand what I was talking about because the government portrays the authority to them. But we know the government as the Masonic ones that control everything, not just the governments. So they wouldn't understand that. I had to relate to them somehow and just relay the message. Don't let your thoughts and actions be controlled by the government. I told that to them, but they didn't listen. They kept yelling their commands at the customers at the front door, telling them to only such and such allowed in the store at a time. But the whole time I was there in the checkout line until I got out of the store. Even when I got out of the store, I just kept yelling, don't let your thoughts and actions be controlled by the government. And there were people that actually listened to me and were just not listening to the clerks and just going in. But I found it interesting that how there are a small minority of people that will not go along with the program. I mean, are you one of the people that's been heeding their warnings when you go into places? Do you strip the good bacteria off your hands every time you enter a store to buy one of their products with their sanitizer wipes? Have you been manipulated mentally to do that? Have they successfully controlled your mind to where you believe you have to do such a thing? Well, if you are, I suggest you stop and just let the good bacteria build up on your skin to protect you from what they try to infect you with, if there's anything at all. You know, I don't sense anything bad out here in creation. As a matter of fact, as I'm speaking to you, I hear the wonderful birds and animals in creation just enjoying. There's nothing in the air affecting who they are. And they're not worried about the mind control that the people who control us. They're not worried about the virus they're giving us to change who we are or who we were last week. They've been programming us to be the people they want us to be this entire time. We were born in this system to be their slaves, their physical slaves and their mental slaves. It's quite obvious, especially in these days. We just have to stand strong in truth because it protects us and it allows us to see what we need to see to survive. The only question is, are we going to turn against each other? Or are we going to look at each other as the creation we truly are and not be scared of each other? Are we going to be our own mind and souls and think for ourselves and use the common sense of truth? I don't think most of us will, because we're stuck in the program. We don't see. And it's unfortunate. But just because we can see it doesn't make us better than anyone else. It just, it makes us responsible for teaching other people, so they can see what's really happening to them. And if you don't feel responsible for teaching people the truth as a real human during this time of crisis, then you're going along with the program they want you to go along with. Because loving our brothers and sisters is teaching them the truth, no matter how hard it is to accept, no matter how crazy people think you are. I mean, I was on my brother Shizzle's channel, and I saw a really kick-ass video that he put up, and this dude is really advancing in the truth, and it's amazing to see the knowledge coming out of this guy. He's a wonderful being in creation, and I love you, brother, I do. I see your thoughts, your own, your emotions are in check, and brother, I see you control your actions like a human being should, and that's what matters. But he had a good video. And on this video, there was a law enforcement official on television in California commanding the people in the area, if they see anybody working in like a mom and pop shop store, he commanded those people to call 311 or to report them for working. Now, you have to think, just a week ago we were programmed to work and survive in this system because that's the way they taught us to be. Now they have the people in California instructing other brothers and sisters in creation to go against their brothers and sisters because they're working. They're potentially spreading the disease. Wow. This is how they get other people to go against other people. Creation against creation. Are you going to fall for it? Are you going to be controlled by people who haven't even showed us the evidence that this virus exists or not? Well, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. They haven't even successfully showed us evidence that this shit exists. And you can see at the flip of a switch how much control they have over the people in the general population that they manipulate. But I know it's scary out there, but I always like to look at creation and see the possibilities in it, just like the videos I've been putting up about the food that we can eat in creation. And trust me, I'm going to really try that food out, because there's a lot of food plants out there that you can just eat raw. And yeah, I want to experience, being able to survive without their world that I can just see way too much of. I love you guys, and leave your thoughts and comments below if you have any on this subject, because sticking together is what it's all about. Y'all take care. Bye.